welcome back to Yes Live. I'm sitting here with Al Coleman. I noticed him inside the gym earlier, and I waved at him, and I thought, wow, I need to really get him on this TV show with me, because I feel like that we need to really spread out there and reach a lot of people as far as the girls' side of basketball goes. Al has been involved in basketball for several years. I'm not really quite sure how many years, but I think that he can inform us on everything that we need to know.
Well, actually, I've been involved with youth sports for over 25 years. Started off with my kids, but
I think that we all do that, don't we?
yeah, and they kind of outgrew sports, and I didn't.
I know that feeling too.
So we started the Cy-Fair program back in 1997, and we're going to celebrate 15 years this coming year in 2013, and we're really excited about the things we've done and some of the things we hope to do in the future.
Are you planning on doing an event around that 15 years?
We actually host the annual Cy-Fair Invitational, and this year will be special because it'll be our 15th year. Last year,
I'm going to make a point to be there.
Well, great. We'd love to have you. We hosted 163 teams last year, which was by far our largest tournament, and we hope to have as many, if not more, next year.
I look for you to be able to do that. Tell me about how many teams do y'all have in y'all's program, sir?
Well, we've actually expanded this year into the Dallas area. We had 120 kids in that area. Ray Mickens runs our program up there. We had about another 150 players here in the Houston area. So together we ran somewhere around 280 kids. And you do the math, that's a lot of teams.
That's a whole lot of teams, and that's a whole lot of parents.
You know, you got to take the good with the bad, but we think that our program provides a great service, strictly concentrating on fundamentals, making sure that our kids are prepared when they do step on that college court. And that's really what our program's about. It's about making sure that they're prepared. They're fundamental, so they don't go to college and have to sit 1 or 2 years before they get to play. Our kids, if you look around at some of our kids that have gone on to play, Monique Smalls at Texas Tech, Shanae Neko-Gumake obviously at Stanford. Those are the type of kids that have gone through this program and were ready by the time they got to college.
I know personally of a couple of your players that I've watched this past year, and when you say fundamentally sound, I would say that's an understatement. I would say more than just fundamentally sound. Okay. I also have noticed that talking to some of the children that play for you, y'all are not only just preparing them for what takes place on court, but just what is going to be ready for them in the future in their life. And I like that.
Well, you take a look at a lot of the people that are in our program, including myself. You know, we've all had children, and you know, we've all taught our kids to do right and taught them right from wrong. And a lot of what we do goes beyond just the court. And you hear so many people say that, but when you look at the image of our program and you look at the image of our kids, you know, it kind of speaks for itself.
Yes, sir, it sure does. Yes, sir. So this year I was under the understanding, because I actually posted y'all's picture on a website, that y'all went to a national, and it was the night national, am I correct?
Well, actually, we went to 4 national tournaments, and we do every year in July, and we do that to be able to maximize the exposure that our kids get to college coaches, obviously. We did really well. We started off in Dallas, and we won Joey Simmons PBR Super 64, beating the Tennessee Flight. That actually ended up being the #1 ranked team in the country. And,
I think it was, that's Brandy, am I correct?
No, that's Tom Insel. And
Brandy also has a team with Tennessee Flight, correct?
I think so. And we take the kids to these type of tournaments, the Battle on the Borough, which was held in Franklin actually this year. But you're right, we were at Nike Nationals, and we did well. We actually were runner-up in the Silver Division, lost to the team out of Florida, Essence, and but you have to kind of take a snapshot and say, look at the kids that we had on our team. We didn't have anybody over 5'10". But
That speaks right there. You know, Al, I need to ask a favor of you. I would love to interview you in the Sci-Fair program, girls. Do you think that we can make that happen this year?
absolutely, we want to maximize as much exposure for our kids in our program, and I understand that I should have met you a long time ago.
Oh, thank you very kindly. I see that we got one of your coaches in your program here. Would you mind introducing me to him and the show, and I'd like to interview him?
Well, we're very proud of all our coaches, especially Coach Ledee, Herb Ledee. Herb actually joined our program 2.5 years ago. He was with the original Texas Blazers, but I recognized Herb many years ago as being one of the premier trainers in the city, and we shared a lot of the same philosophies in terms of trying to teach the girls how to play the game, making sure that they understood the game, and he does. I mean, words can't really describe what he does and what he brings to this program.
Well, I'd like to interview him if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Okay, I look forward to seeing you
Thank you.
this year. 15 years, I'm going to be there with the cake.
Thank you.
I'm sitting here with a phenomenal coach that coaches girls for Sci-Fair. Would you like to say something about your program, the girls, the nationals, just all around?
Definitely. Our program actually has a lot of the top level basketball players in the state. Matter of fact, the reason I came over, I know Al just told you about me coming over from my other program, is because of the fact that Sci-Fair gives the girls opportunity to perform at the highest level possible. A lot of kids that we had are the top girls around the state and bordering states that have the opportunity to play for a program that plays against the very best every night and every tournament. Gives them a chance to push them to a whole nother level.
I know that y'all actually make sure that y'all put them in all the right events. For people that doesn't understand basketball, that doesn't know what it's all about, like coaches like you, you're helping push that child and get them in events that possibly at the end of their senior year, they're walking away being able to say, I have somebody to help me with my education.
Absolutely.
Am I correct on this?
The great thing is we have a number of teams. Our very top team, all the way down to our second and third team, actually have girls that commit early their senior years. I mean, I know a lot of programs have kids that sign, but we have a lot of our girls that commit even before.
Do you mind mentioning maybe a few of them?
We have a young lady that just committed to UT, Rhonda Taylor.
University of Texas. Isn't
And
that awesome?
Yes, it is. We had the all-academic team earlier this year. We had a young lady, Alexis Sanders, that committed to Rice. A young lady, Kristen Inman, that's going to Northwestern, and they all committed early. So that means this senior year, they're relaxed.
They already know where they're going.
Yes, they're going to enjoy basketball. They're going to enjoy their senior year, have a chance to work really hard at their goals, but have that pressure off their back of having to worry about what's going to be my next step.
Well, not only that, that's the pressure of the parent, too.
Yeah, no.
Not having to worry about how am I going to afford that education.
Definitely.
I don't know, have I ever told you why I named this show Yes Live?
No.
The Y is for the youth, the E is for the education, and the S is for sports. So it's all wrapped around that education and that sport. And my slogan for the show is Yes Live, our youth, their education, and the love for their sport.
Well, the funny thing to say that is most of these kids on the girls' side is a lot more prevalent on the boys' side. That most of the girls, or pretty much all the girls, are in it to get an education. On the boys' side, everybody wants to go pro. But on the girls' side, girls play for 4 years. They're going to get degrees, and then they have an opportunity to play after. but most of them go into it in academics knowing what they want to do
Yes.
on the next level. So they just use this as a vehicle of getting to that next step. And I mean, like I said, we have a bunch of great girls that are academically strong as well as dominant basketball players. So it just makes it so much more pleasurable because they know what they want. They really do.
You know, can you tell me, I want you to tell our audience out there, what is the one thing that you know that you teach these girls that when they walk off that court, they can take it with them into their academic world, their future mother world, their future parent, wife world? Can you tell me what that one thing is you teach them?
Our number one thing is work ethic. Everything you do in life, no matter if it's basketball, if it's schoolwork, if it's housework, you want to do it at your very best. And the great thing about our program is we want to be the best, so we're teaching the girls to perform and be the very best they possibly can be in everything. The great thing is we have a bunch of really, really good young ladies.
Yes, I know that. I know that for a fact. Well, you know, I was just talking to Al, and I told him that y'all are going to be hosting an event that's going to be recognized in y'all's 15 years, right? I told him I was going to be there with the cake.
Good. Well, I'm glad.
And I'm expecting Al to have the punch. I appreciate this.
Yeah.
And if you get a chance, I want you to bring about 3 or 4 of your girls, and let's talk to them as well.
We will. We'll get some of those seniors in here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.